Hey guys, today I'm going to give you a complete tutorial on how to play the Italian opening in chess, which serves the moves e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, and bishop c4. Now, those are the starting lines. If those moves aren't played, it's not an Italian, but if those moves are played, I'm going to show you exactly what to do in every variation. So, we'll start with the very common knight g5, okay? There's also bishop c5, but we will look at that later. Right now, we're just looking at knight g5. Now, knight g5 every time, knight f6, every time you want to go knight to g5 to get the double attack on this pawn. And obviously, if black just makes some random move, you will go there with a knight and fork, okay? But what black's main defense every time is this move d5, and then you will take with the pawn, okay? Now black here has two choices, okay? They can either go knight to a5, or they can take to regain material equality, which is what most players will do, okay? If they take there, what you're going to play here is called the fried liver attack, where you're actually going to take knight f7, okay? The king will take back, and then queen h5 check. Sorry, queen f3, queen to f3, queen to f3 check, okay? And then the king has to either come out in the middle of the board to defend this knight, and then you'll go knight c3, attacking the pin knight, and you'll have a nasty attack, okay? But let's say that black doesn't do that, because there's a chance that black will do the e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, bishop c4, knight there, d5, takes, and then knight a5. And what they're trying to do here is basically just kick the bishop. And then I recommend basically just bringing the bishop back to like right there, okay? And then they'll kick the knight back, and maybe they'll even kick the knight again, but it's okay, because if they try to waste time regaining this pawn, okay, then you're gonna bring out the knight and stuff, and you're gonna have a great position, okay? So either way, you know what you're gonna do there, and that's why knight g5 is not very commonly played by black, okay? A lot more commonly, you're gonna get bishop c5. Like, that's probably by far the main move for black, okay? So then, there's a couple ways you can go here. You can play basic with moves like castling, or something like knight c3, but that's not what most like grandmasters do, because to be honest, it's not really your best shot. You either want to play the super aggressive d4 or the semi-aggressive c3. I forgot to mention, you can also play d3 and just castle and build up a solid position, but if you want to go for the advantage, which is what you're trying to do as white, I would recommend either d4 or c3. So we'll look at d4. I have a video about this, but we'll go over it quickly. So d4, most times they'll take with the bishop because they don't want to lose their knight out of position. They don't want to trade the bishop for that knight there. Okay, so d4. The reason you went d4 to sack there is to open up this bishop, which allows you to bring your knight to g5 again, because before the queen could take it, but now the bishop defends it. If you go g5, okay, they can't go d5 anymore because you can just take it for free. They'll usually go knight there to defend. But then you come in with this nasty move, queen h5, a triple attack there, and if they try to castle out of it, okay, you'll actually will take with the bishop, the knight comes back to take, and then it would be checkmate there. And then if the rook takes, you just take with the knight, and then say he takes like that, you slide over and take his bishop there. So that's pretty nasty. And then we'll go back and look at e4, e5, knight f3, knight f6, bishop c4, bishop c5, c3. Now, this is the mainline Italian, okay? It's going to be tough. We're trying to keep this in a very quick tutorial and just show you all the ideas, okay? So, mostly black will play knight f6, because if they just play some stupid move like this or something, or even anything like that, First of all, it allows you to play d4 and kick his bishop, but it also allows you to play here, the bishop moves, and then there, and the knight has to move, which is what was defending that pawn. So what black has to do after c3 is play knight f6, putting a counterattack on this pawn here. But then you go ahead with d4 anyways, and you go take, take. If black just moves the bishop back, like say like this or something, you're going to have a great advantage because you can push there, and he'll be done. But black's going to check there. And then the move here is knight c3 every time. You can play knight d2, you can play here, okay? And then it'll just be something like take, take, and you're still defending that pawn. But if you want to go for an advantage, I recommend knight c3. And the reason is a lot of people don't know the correct move. They'll go takes here. But that's actually a big mistake, because then you have a lot of tricks up your sleeve. You can go something like here, which actually pins the knight, or you can go a3, or my favorite is actually if they take, you let them, they think they have like an attack here to win a pawn, you actually just castle away, okay? So they move the knight, move, you castle away, and then if they take, you're going to ignore the attack on your rook and play bishop a3. And the point is, if they take, check here, and they're actually going to lose the game because they can't move, and if they block, it's just going to take, and they'll take there, and they'll be done. Okay? What they have to do here is, before they castle, is something like castle there, but then, okay, all you have to do is like move your rook out of the way, and then you're just totally winning.